Alright, slide yourselves.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Box to Box. My name is Harry Hicks, and I am joined by Max Bosher and Thomas McKeon. Boys, welcome to the podcast.
Let's go.
What's going on?
Are we ready?
What's going on?
We have so much to talk about.
I know.
So much to cover.
Yeah, hurry up.
Let's start off with...
Quick.
Right into it. We're going to race through this. It'll be a 15-minute episode.
Yep.
No, let's jump in and talk about Champions League. I think that's pretty fitting. And let's just get down to Chelsea and Bayern.
We're so upset. All of us.
Yeah. Okay. Bayern first, losing 1-0 to
1-0.
Villarreal. How does that happen? Bayern should outscore every team.
Explain
they play.
yourself, Max.
So, I mean, that's a good way of putting it. Bayern plays by wanting to outscore every team. And they know that their defense is their weakest part. But Alphonso Davies starting after not playing at all this year was a question mark for me even before the game started. And he was rusty. Like, that was expected. Lucas Hernandez was like our only defender. He played incredible. Upamecano, slow, sluggish.
Okay, I'm on the fence about Upamecano. I feel like he was at Leipzig before, right?
Yeah,
and he was great, but also, I mean, not to just be rude to the Bundesliga, but how good do you need to be a Leipzig center back?
Yeah,
compared to a Bayern center back.
I think last year he was good. The year before that he was incredible. I mean, like when Leipzig was like doing really well in the Champions League, he was doing so well, and one of his best qualities is his speed. And it's concerning that his best quality has really become his biggest weakness this year. And he looks sluggish, his passing isn't great, and he looks uncomfortable at all times. And Pavard was fine. I mean, he was pretty average, and it wasn't his greatest game. But I was also concerned with the attack, and that's Bayern's strength. And Lewandowski had no chances. I mean, the whole game, Bayern had no chances really.
That's absurd.
They had like 22 shots, but there weren't any chances. There weren't any chances. I know it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy, but there was no opportunity.
I watched the highlights, and all I saw was that chance that Muller kind of missed, and even then he was offsides. He had the tap in,
yeah.
But he was offsides too because he made that run too early. It's like they didn't look like the regular Bayern with very cohesive final third passing to get some shots. You know?
And the other side of that coin is that Villarreal probably should have scored 3 goals.
Yeah.
I mean, that one that they did score that was turned back for offsides
was
crazy.
It was crazy. It was like a cross, and then like
I mean, he was a little bit lucky.
Yeah,
but that wasn't their only chance. They had a couple, especially in those last 5 minutes. They definitely should have put another one home.
Yeah, and the Neuer mistake too. Neuer kicked the ball right to the Villarreal player, and I think it was Moreno, and it was like from half field.
Oh, yeah.
But Bayern, as a Bayern fan, I'm happy that we lost by only 1, and now we're going back home. Hopefully, we make some changes. Davies will play this weekend most likely, and we play again right away next week. So I'm still confident. We're only down 1-0, but we need to ensure that we don't let in any other goals. That's the biggest part. So, and get Lewandowski going. Feed him the ball.
Speaking of frustrating losses, Chelsea with a pretty dismal display.
Now it's our turn to rant.
3-1 loss to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And pretty much a self-inflicted loss. Mm-hmm. They had a couple high-profile errors, and when you have those errors against a team like Real Madrid with a certain Karim Benzema up top, he's going to make you pay, and he did 3 times.
Benzema in the Champions League this season has been like every touch it's perfect. He makes the correct pass. His shooting, even though he did miss a pretty big chance, he scored 3 goals, and he's other than Mendy's big mistake in the second half, his second best chance was he was through on goal and he pushed it wide, and then the other 2 goals were crazy headers, like floating headers. Though I think Mendy should have at least saved one of those. I was looking on
He's been a little off lately, I feel like.
yeah, 4 goals against Brentford, 3 goals against Real Madrid. I was looking at FootMob has the post shot expected goals numbers, and both Brentford and Real Madrid, he let in shots that, according to the model and according to the eye test, could have been saved.
Yeah.
That second shot, that was kind of just like a floating header up above him, had a post shot expected goals of 0.3. The first shot was
Really?
like a 0.2.
I feel like, yeah, I mean, the first header, he seemed a little bit out of position. I feel like for a goalie, they theoretically shouldn't be beat near post.
Right.
Yep.
And Mendy was a little bit wide. He wasn't I don't think his positioning was the best. And then for the second one, it seemed like his positioning was fine, but he could have dug a little harder. If he took a step before he dove, I think he got it. It was such a slow moving ball that he had time to make that additional step and get down quicker.
Yeah, he dove too early, and he could have,
He
just
could-
ran and got it.
Yeah.
It is tough
fielder.
though, because the ball is going opposite.
I mean,
You know,
I'm not a goalie.
Yeah,
but-
it's going opposite, and Mendy's leaning right. He's leaning right with the ball.
Yeah.
And he's headering it across goal.
Right.
I mean, your whole momentum is taking you the other way, and then
Right, but I
and then
think
you have
that's
to
what
go
I'm
back.
saying. His momentum was moving that way, but the pace the ball was going at, he had a second to put his foot down and propel himself the other way instead of just leaning to the left and trying
Yeah.
to save it.
Yeah, it was tough.
And yeah, I mean, it is tough. It was a great finish by Benzema.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but I will say I think Chelsea had the better chances throughout the game. I mean, they outshot Real Madrid by twice as many shots.
We controlled large portions of that game, especially the second half after Benzema's goal. We controlled the next 30 minutes.
oh my gosh, I wish we got a goal at the end there. We were pushing so hard, and another goal would have been huge for this
bring
two-legged
it
tie.
within one for the next game. Yeah, I don't know.
Any changes? Any
I,
substitutes that would happen?
Okay,
I mean,
so-
also the Lukaku. We didn't even talk about that. The Lukaku header should have been a goal too. The Mendy mistake. I mean, it would have been 2-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not upset with him bringing Lukaku on. I think that's the right decision, trying to shake it up a little bit. I do think it is a little surprising that he brought off Jorginho, because I do think Jorginho was playing pretty well. I don't know if it was for Loftus-Cheek maybe, who
Yes.
has not been he's not been playing well recently. He didn't play. He started against Brentford. We saw how that turned out. I don't think he's kind of that deep lying center midfielder. He's much more progressive and kind of sporadic. And in the Chelsea team, when we already have Kovacic doing that, you need Jorginho to be able to lock it down. Because also Conte is a little bit sporadic in his movement. He's much more kind of chases the ball and brings it upfield, whereas Jorginho really can be that. It's sometimes boring to watch because he just sits in the middle, but our team is built around that.
Yeah, he's the distributor.
So
basically.
I didn't like that call by Tuchel to bring him off with 30 minutes to play or something like
Right.
that.
I also thought Asby at left back didn't work, and when we got Real Madrid into pushed back into their low block, if that ball went to Asby, they knew he was going to try to put it on his right foot and cross it in, and there was nothing on that left side. Our only chances came from
He did have a crazy
He
shot.
did, and that was an incredible save by Courtois.
That was pretty
That was
good.
an
Yeah.
incredible save.
that was good, but that was one instance of over 90 minutes.
Right.
Our chances came from when the ball came to Reece James. Either he put in a cross or they put 3 guys. They would really try to suffocate Reece James. And our goal to Havertz came from Reece quickly swinging it back to Jorginho, who was free because the Real Madrid players were out of position, and whipped in a cross. So it was, if we had that threat on the left side, maybe with Alonso, even though that's a defensive liability, I think maybe we would have been more direct and aggressive in the final third.
And I will say, I think Chelsea going forward looks pretty good, and that's not usually their strong suit. Normally, it's their defense is a lot more, or is I guess the stronger half of the field for
Right.
Chelsea. I thought they looked pretty good going forward. I thought Reece, yes, he wasn't the best defensively, but offensively going forward, I thought he looked great. He had some crazy dribbling.
Some good
There was
moments.
one
but,
point on the edge of the box where he just totally dogged 3 people.
right, with one spin.
Yeah,
That
it was.
dirty.
Yeah, so going forward, Kai, another goal for him. He
fire
kind
right
of
now.
keeps up his form. So it is frustrating that out of all of that, we come away down 2.
Yeah.
And now have to go to Spain,
Yeah.
play in their stadium. That's
Yeah,
tough.
it is very tough. So I have faith, though. I think coming away from that game, it showed that we're right there. You know, we can compete with Real Madrid, and we can hopefully get a result.
I expect them to come out and try to score right away because that's what you need to do. Get a goal early and put the pressure on Madrid, you know?
Yeah.
Did you
Also,
guys watch the other-
Madrid out without Eder Militao next.
We're going to see Nacho?
Yeah, Nacho will probably have to play the full game, which, you know, it's not like Nacho is bad or anything, but that'll be good for Chelsea's.
A little confidence,
Yeah.
maybe. Did you guys watch the Liverpool? I mean, Liverpool is just outclassing Benfica. I think there's not much we can even talk about there. Atletico is just so frustrating to watch for me. I mean,
I had a good
they
time
defend.
watching that game.
Atletico basically gave up before the game started. Or not gave
They
up.
played
but
a 5-5-0. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did.
It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
And that's
It
so
was
frustrating.
it was boring.
It's so frustrating for someone like João Felix or Antoine Griezmann. Like João, when he plays, like even in that game, he's like trying to score. He's playing offensively. Like he's controlling the ball. He's trying to switch field. But no one else wants to play like that.
I
Really.
think-
And they're not set up to play like
Yeah,
that.
I don't think that was I think their intention, or Simeone's intention, was to play a usual game where they have those two players like Zhao and another player able to try to counterattack. But Man City just completely dominated them to the point where those players had to come back into those defensive positions constantly. Like when Atletico tried to build out, like every single time, Man City, they couldn't get out of the half, and it was just like they were just constantly pushed back. I feel like against a slightly worse opponent, they can have a little more space to try for a counterattack. But I think it was just a masterclass from.
Was that
City.
game in Spain?
Well, it was in City, and so that's what I want to say. 1-0 loss in England, and you're going back home isn't the worst.
No, that's not bad at all.
You know, and maybe that was his game plan, that they just want to get back either with a tie or a 1-0 loss, and they're going to they have to score now.
And it would have been a 0-0 if it wasn't for Foden unlocking that.
Yeah, and
I
then
think-
De Bruyne, a nice finish.
Yeah, that was a great
So-
finish. That reminded me of last round with Mbappe unlocking the Real Madrid PSG game. It was Foden came on, and he was the key, and he like broke through and found
it
that
was
pass.
like, got that pass like 5 minutes after he was subbed on.
Mahrez was the entire game, couldn't break through. Then Foden came on, and 2 minutes later, he came in.
The game was getting chippy towards the end, too. They were all like harassing Grealish.
Did you see that? You were like flicking his
They
hair.
were flicking his hair.
I want to talk about how I hate when Grealish puts his hand over his mouth to talk, like
so no one reads his lips.
Yeah, that's like he's trying not to get fined.
Is that after the game or
No, during the game. Whenever Grealish,
'Cause I feel like a lot of
talking
players
to
do it
the other
after the game.
After the game, yeah, but like during the game, he's like covering his mouth, and you don't usually see that. Some players choose to do that, probably because they don't want to get fined or.
They're saying something
I think Jack
personal or
Grealish doesn't want his image to be affected by like people zooming in on his mouth, but he's getting paid like crazy, or he's like actually saying like terrible
Really
stuff,
horrible stuff, yeah. He doesn't want that Gucci deal to
Right,
be
yeah.
rescinded.
But I think he looks like that's such a cowardly look, both when you're like on the field, like covering.
Say
your
it
mouth.
with your chest.
Yeah, say it.
it with your chest.
yeah.
Yeah. The Atletico game will be interesting, I think.
It'll be interesting. Okay, so last point on the Champions League. I want to talk to you, Max, about Benzema versus Lewandowski, who are, I guess, probably the front runners for the Ballon d'Or.
Mm-hmm.
But it's at this point, it's got to be Benzema.
Yeah, so I just want to... Benzema is playing incredible, right? He's back-to-back hat-tricks in the Champions League. Everything like that. He's just playing super strong. He's having a great year. Attacking. Like he at some points, he's really playing like a midfielder, honestly. He's making these one-touch passes to Vinny. Vinny crosses it, and he finishes it every time. My question is, why does Benzema deserve the Ballon d'Or when Lewandowski this year, past seasons, he's done the same thing? You know, same thing as Benzema, but he's scored more goals and he hasn't won it. And I agree, Benzema should win it this year. But if Lewandowski hasn't won it, like, why should Benzema?
Well, I mean,
you know,
yeah, no, I don't know if I think the answer is pretty clear in the fact that the past 2 years, Lewandowski should have won it. The first one was called off because of COVID, and then it was just Messi, which didn't really make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that was much more contentious. Messi won the Copa, and was playing a lot better with Barcelona.
Yep.
And now obviously he's playing very, very poor with PSG. So Benzema, I guess Lewandowski, there's not that fallback, I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And this year it's between the two of them more clearly, and Benzema's playing better.
Yeah, I agree. I have the stats pulled up. So Benzema this year, 37 goals, 13 assists.
Oh my God.
And,
How many games?
I think it's 36 games or 31
total,
games, something like
right.
that. Lewandowski,
Pretty good.
45 goals, but he has only 4 assists, right? So it's different.
That's pretty comparable.
But if you look at Leva's last 2 years, last year he had 48 goals, 9 assists. The year before that, which was a COVID year, 55 goals and 10 assists. And he didn't win the Ballon d'Or.
And
I know we're all agreeing he should have won it, but also I guess there isn't that other second person this year. So it's Benzema's trophy to lose, I guess.
I would love to see him win it. I would love to see Leva go on at some point, but also Benzema. I mean, he's been pretty much overlooked for years.
I mean,
He's 34, which is pretty crazy that he's doing it.
That's crazy.
Like, he's always been a pretty good player, but to have his best season at 34, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, Ben, Salah, Mbappe. I mean, Ben's is probably above all of them right now.
Yeah, it's got to
So,
be.
Benzie.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to match of the week.
Yeah.
This is a big one.
This is a huge one. I am so excited for this game. We got Liverpool versus Man City on Sunday. Man City, I don't know how many points they have, but they're 1 point above Liverpool. And both of these teams have the capacity to win the rest of their season, meaning that this game has a huge importance and could be the title decider pretty much.
I think it is.
And they're the two best teams in the world, going head to head with a point off each other. I think I'm pretty excited.
One of the biggest games in
biggest
years,
game of the
probably,
year. Yeah. No,
probably not years, but
biggest game of this year.
of this
Yeah,
year
of this
for
year.
like a biggest Premier League game in years. Like a matchup of the first and second this late in the season that close. Yeah, I'm excited.
Tommy, your prediction?
Oh, I got a prediction. Every matchup of Man City, Liverpool, or Man City, Chelsea, or those like top 3 teams have been incredible. I'm very excited.
Not Man City, Chelsea, because
No,
Man
no.
City destroyed
Well,
us.
they did, yeah. They dismantled us, but it's always a pretty good game,
Right.
And I feel like there's a pretty even chance it can go either way based on how much quality is in the attack of each team, and there's just like moments that could happen where Salah or Foden can just break through and have a crazy goal. So I'm going to stick to the middle ground and go with a 2-2 draw. I think there's going to be goals. I think it's going to be a showdown, a lot of chances, but it's ultimately come down to a 2-2 draw because I can't see Man City losing. I can see Liverpool losing. I can't see Man City losing. So, but I think it's pretty even.
I'm going Liverpool.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't see that.
Well, open your eyes.
That's what he just said. You can't see it.
No, I'm going Liverpool. I mean, we think, I don't know how many weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, something like that. Liverpool were down 12 points, and now they're within 1.
Have they lost? Like,
No.
I feel like Man
And
City
Man City
only
lost to Palace,
and Tottenham,
and they've had a couple ties.
and they drew recently. I forgot to who.
So, and Liverpool have just basically been breathing down their neck.
yeah,
And I think Liverpool do it. I think they win. I'm guessing 3-2. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be, some crazy goal from Salah or Jota or something like that.
Milner.
Or Milner, strike from 35.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
No, I think they do it. I think they have the momentum. I think they have, as far as the title race, I think they have City on their heels. So I think they
Okay.
I think they
agree
get the
with that.
dub.
Well, I agree with that. And I think City knows that, there is a chance that if they lose this game, like, wow, they just blew this 12-point lead, and they're kind of afraid of that. And City's a machine. The way they play, they're so clinical, they're technical, they just play so well. But I think Liverpool, what sets them apart, especially in big games, and I think Man City shies away from some of these big games, is Liverpool has like that energy and that leadership from not only their coach Klopp, but Henderson, Jota. Like, there's just like energy and like fight almost. And I don't see that really in a lot of the City players. They're all world class. Like, they're all incredible players, but there's not really like urgency a lot of times, especially in these big games. And for Liverpool, I mean, they should win out. There's 6 games remaining after this last game, but they have some harder games than City plays. They play a United team. Again, they should beat them, but they play Wolves and Tottenham. And City plays Newcastle, Leeds, Watford, Brighton. Like, the only hard one they have is West Ham. Yeah. So I think Liverpool knows that they need to win this game. They're down a point. City cannot lose. Agreed, Tommy. Like, if City wins, it's pretty much wraps. Like, they should wrap up like the rest of their schedule. But Liverpool need to win, because even if they tie, City's still up 1 point and they can win out. So I'm taking Liverpool also 2-1, and I think it's just going to be an intense game.
This one I just looked it up. It's in Manchester.
In Manchester, yeah. Which is like what? No fans.
Well,
what's the atmosphere going to be like?
That first game was like 3-3, I think, right? 2-2 or 3-3. It was a tie.
Yeah, I don't.
It was like one of the craziest games of the season. So I'm excited for that game just on a pedestal, with so much more to play for. So
Heck yeah.
So let's go.
Hey, real quick, I won last week.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We didn't talk about that.
We talked about it.
We didn't even talk about it.
Am I the only person that chose Leipzig?
I think I took a tie, and Harry took a win for Dortmund.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So
Yes.
Catching up, Tommy.
But I said 2-1.
Me and Tommy are tied.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. That was a pretty good game. I thought Leipzig just outplayed them. Dortmund had the possession, but Leipzig had the counterattacks, and they were clinical, absolutely clinical. I thought Lamer had 2 goals, but his assist in Nkunku, where he did that like back roll, that was dirty.
There was a video of like Nkunku like behind him, like calling for the ball, and he just rolls it past, and Nkunku just finishes it.
And Danny Olmo with a 25-yard banger, bar down. That was good. That was a good game. That was fun.
And no Haaland.
Mm-hmm.
He was there, but he didn't do anything.
Yeah. Couldn't get the ball to him.
Yeah.
He missed one chance, but it was kind of a tough chance. Where
in the beginning,
they like made a mess of a ball in the box, and then he was kind of like back to goal, trying to whip around, couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
But Leipzig won and dismantled them.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
No, you did get the point. Yeah. So the scores at point of recording: Tommy with 6, Max with 6, and Harry Hicks with 4 points. But that's only one.
Kick off the pod.
Only one went away.
Yeah, that's true.
That's with
3-2.
well within reach.
3-2
I get the
Liverpool.
score
Right.
this weekend. After I get the score right, I'm clear.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh,
bro.
it might come down to the last few games.
This is almost as intense.
Yeah, this is intense. Relegation battle.
Okay. I know we have a main segment to get to, but relegation battle. Everton are about to go down.
I know. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to talk about that in the main segment.
Okay, yeah, good.
We can get to it
And
now.
yeah, let's just go right into it. My EPL.
Yeah,
who is going to win? Who is going to be in the top 4? And who is going to be relegated? Those are the 3 questions. And we are 7 games left in the season, and those are the 3 big questions. It's Man City versus Liverpool for the title. Max already talked about who they have left after they play each other. Man City does have Wolves, Brighton, and West Ham, but they probably should take down those teams. And the rest of them are like Watford and Leeds and Newcastle, while Liverpool has to play United and Tottenham. So that makes it like Liverpool
and
has
Villa. And
Villa, yeah.
No,
But Liverpool has a chance of dropping points to those teams. I don't see Man City dropping a single point in their run.
Right.
You know? And that's what makes this upcoming game probably the title decider. I think if Liverpool win, they still have a chance of dropping points and losing the title. If they draw, I think Man City kind of have it wrapped up. Not wrapped up, but have pretty high chances. And if City wins, they have it wrapped up. So that's right now the odds for winning the title are the betting odds, according to Vegas and other sources, are 66% chance Man City, 33% Liverpool.
for the title or
For the title, not
yeah.
the game. I think it adds up.
Right.
Because if it's a draw, Man City has a point and easier
yeah.
schedule.
I do
so-
think one thing that plays a factor, though, is depending on who wins, or I guess the result if there is a tie. But if Liverpool win, it's in their hands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they kind of make their own destiny. Whereas if they lose, then they have to bank on City losing, which likely won't happen. So I do think that's why I do think even more importance on this game, because it decides who has the title within reach. You know?
Right.
They don't have to rely on another team's loss if they win.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you have like a team breathing down your neck, you are going to play like crazy. And all these other teams are they're kind of wrapped up their season. A lot of the mid-table teams aren't going to like risk injury in order to beat.
I don't know.
the
I mean,
teams.
I also think they want to stick it to them. You know, they
That's true.
they have a
That's in
chance to
there.
like.
Play spoiler. I love teams that
Yeah.
try to play spoiler. That's equal, not as motivating as going for the title, but it's a pretty good motivator.
Let us. I know. I mean, like, I think all of them. You know, they look at their games and they're like, yeah, we could take the title from them. You know, like it's not like.
Yeah, imagine Watford beating City like at the end. Like actually,
Crazy.
they're getting relegated and they beat City. Like that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
So, who are your top four, Tommy?
So I want to look at the betting odds because Chelsea are 5 points ahead of Arsenal right now and Tottenham, even though Arsenal and Chelsea have a game in hand on Tottenham. Yeah. So that's like in 7 games, we can drop 5 points to those teams, but we still have, according to the betting odds, a 95% chance to place top 4, which is pretty good. That's decent, but that's still a 5% chance of going down. But I thought it would be lower, honestly, because of our form and how many games. 7 games is enough to drop some points.
Yeah.
You know, I can see that happening, but it also makes sense that we're still Chelsea, and
Also, they're Tottenham and Arsenal. They haven't had flawless seasons.
that's true. Yeah,
They obviously have
up and
been
down.
playing better lately, but you know, Arsenal lost 3-0 to Palace over the weekend.
yeah. I feel like form.
Tottenham have been hot and cold every weekend.
Yeah,
you know? So
form is kind of like it blinds you. It's like Chelsea. You think Chelsea's gonna drop maybe a few games down the road because of our form right now. And
we just won 6 in a row in the league.
Yeah, exactly. But our form is the last 2 games.
Right.
So I think it's a little bit of a smokescreen. I think we still can lock that up. For Arsenal and Tottenham, the battle for 4th, and Man United in there.
Hey, where are the Hammers at?
Arsenal and Tottenham are 50% each, 50% chance each, according to Vegas, with Man U coming up with 11%. First of all, that doesn't add up to 200%, which is those 2 spots. Therefore, if you go to these betting sites and put money down, you're guaranteed to make a little money. I think that's what that means. Anyway, I'm also kind of surprised by that, because of the how good Arsenal have looked recently. You know, I have a feeling that they're gonna keep on going. They're gonna win
gonna
these
choke.
games, but they're also Arsenal.
Right.
But also Tottenham's Tottenham. You know,
That is true. They
and
both-
also Man U is Man U.
dude, that's what I'm saying. West Ham.
West Ham? You think no? West Ham has like
At this point-
1% chance. They still have it, but it's like really low compared to in the Vegas odds.
Arsenal has so many injuries now. Tierney's out for the year. Party's hurt, and Tomiyasu's hurt.
Yeah.
So I think they're out of the top 4 now.
if I was a betting man, which I am now, I've been placing a few bets. I might put down for Tottenham. I said it earlier. I feel like Conte might be the willing factor to get him to fourth. And also, who do they have? Tottenham has Liverpool. They have to play Liverpool, and that's a Liverpool team that's going to be in a title race. So that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
And they have to play Arsenal, which is going to be also a crazy game. The penultimate game.
Oh, really?
I think the second
That'll be
last.
crazy too.
Yeah. Or like third to last. While Arsenal has to play Chelsea, Man U, West Ham, and Tottenham.
Yeah.
Arsenal does?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And the one against Tottenham is like, that's a huge one.
Well, that's what we're
huge.
saying.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a very
That's
very
a tough schedule. Yeah, especially Chelsea. But also, I see Tottenham losing to Liverpool, and that's 3 points down the drain, while I can see Arsenal drawing Chelsea, beating Man U. Also, that's just like what you can see.
I don't know. That's tough. It's close. And I think you can look at their fixtures and whatnot. I do like your point mostly on Conte. That guy is all energy, and if anyone can get them to the end of the road, it is him.
We're looking at two very revitalized teams, like actually dangerous looking teams versus their kind of shell of themselves in the beginning of the year, where they're kind of in shambles trying to figure it out.
Arsenal started off with three straight losses.
Yeah.
They're bottom of the table.
Now they're in fourth. It's pretty crazy. Do you think Man U has any chance?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Not at all.
I've seen some player interviews, and they seem ready for next season. They don't. They feel they
Just got a new
seem-
coach,
Yeah,
Eric Ten Hag.
Ten Hag's confirmed
No,
Yeah,
yeah. It's not confirmed. It's like
Oh.
as of
very
now.
close.
It came
As
in
of now, maybe not.
No, it's
but-
not. It's not confirmed.
Right.
It's close to it. I
Yeah.
mean, there's heavy rumors. I think he's been in Manchester doing interviews or whatnot, but it's not confirmed yet.
Right. Yeah, I don't think they have a chance. I think it's up to Arsenal and Tottenham, and my vote is Tottenham. It's a voting system now. Whoever gets the most votes.
Wasn't that your top four
Yeah.
pick at
Yeah.
the beginning?
That also
I
influences
had
what I'm
Arsenal.
saying right
You had
now.
Arsenal. I had West Ham. Still in the mix.
Still in a chance.
Still in the
chance.
mix. Don't count them out.
Final point of business in the EPL is
The scrap.
Burnley versus Everton, the regulation battle. Did you see the highlights? So did you watch that game?
No, I saw the scores.
Yesterday on Wednesday, Burnley beat Everton 3-2. I watched the highlights. It was at Burnley. Electric.
Burnley and Electric have never been put in the sentence together.
Burnley is just a bunch of blokes named like Cornwell and like stuff like that, all like going in the box.
Matthew Cornet actually had a crazy goal.
Yeah, but that's what I imagine Burnley. It's just a bunch
Yeah.
of blokes that are heading the ball and like
Yeah.
just bludgeoning the way through to goal. They came back from a 2-1 deficit, scored 2 goals in the second half, and are in prime position.
Yeah, 'cause-
the odds. I'm looking at the odds all the
You're
time.
a big odds man right now.
Well, that's I feel like
What else are we gonna look
the
at?
marketplace. There's odds and 538. They're like the prediction model are pretty similar right now in terms of the top 4 race. Then it's all pretty even.
Who does Burnley have left to play? Because Arsenal has a very tough fixture list. 'Cause-
I didn't look that up.
no, well, I'm looking at Everton right now.
Everton also have
Everton are playing United, Leicester, Liverpool,
They're done.
Chelsea, Leicester again somehow. They're playing Watford. They can win that game. Maybe they can beat Brentford. Maybe not. Then they play Palace and then Arsenal. They win. They win one of those games. Maybe they
And
beat Watford.
they
Who else are
have-
they going to beat?
They have Coleman, Delft, Townsend, Andre Gomez, and Tom Davies and Van de Beek are all injured. They're done.
No, they are done. And
What's crazy is the last 5 years, they got a new owner 5 years ago. Pretty rich guy. I forgot his name.
probably.
He's a pretty rich guy.
He's pretty poor, actually.
He spent $500 million over 5 years. Everton last 5 years have spent $500 million on transfer spends.
Richarlison was a huge
Richarlison, but they're all like these $40
But
million.
Richarlison
players.
is not.
It's
No.
like Richarlison, Moise Keane, who's on loan, Andre Gomez, Iwobi was like $35 million. Ben Godfrey, Alan, all these players were like over 30 million. And where are they in regulation?
And I what I've heard, which is interesting, is that they don't. Since it's Everton, you don't think they're going to get relegated. None of these players have relegation clauses in their contract, so if they get relegated, their wages won't be deducted. So they'll still be paying them Premier League wages in the Championship.
Wow.
Which will basically sink their team. Like their finances will just be completely shot.
Yeah, and they can't.
insane.
They're not going to be able to sell these players at what they're worth.
They can probably sell
because-
Richarlison for 30 mil,
Yeah, and
as opposed to what, 60?
Well, he whenever I see him play, he plays like he has the ego of Ronaldo, basically, but he doesn't have the play to back up anything that he does.
scored 2 penalties against Burnley.
Well, I've seen him being linked to United, and I'm like, why would United get him?
I think he's pretty good, but not like top level
Right.
club
Yeah.
quality.
United could do better.
Yeah.
Can they?
Yes,
Yes,
they
they
can.
can.
Although they can afford better.
Yeah, they can definitely.
They
afford
can't
better.
create a team, They can afford a lot of good
Gosh, we
players.
could talk so much about United. It's just like there's so
I
much
love
to
it.
talk
I
about.
was just looking at Burnley's schedule, and they have Norwich and they have Watford. And honestly, if they win those 2 games, they could be safe.
Right.
Because Everton, in their current form, they're going to have to get crazy lucky to win any of those games.
I know. That's what the usual regulation battle is these teams don't win. I mean, like anything.
Burnley has won 4 games.
2 wins can like push them out. Of the, like they could be in
Incredible
13th.
form. Yeah.
So yeah, I think Everton. You know how Leeds used to be like a Premier League team, and then they went away for like 10 years because they were in crazy debt. They were like taking out crazy loans. I can see that happening with Everton because they.
Everton are one of only 2 teams that have never been relegated out of the Premier League.
Yeah,
Everton and
Liverpool
Arsenal.
or Arsenal.
Oh my gosh,
That's so sad.
That's crazy.
I
We
had
can't
no
have
idea that was the
Arsenal as the last. So we got.
Yeah, I mean,
Arsenal has to be relegated if that's gonna.
hey, at the beginning of this year, there was rumors.
Yeah, there was rumors.
Bottom of the
Yeah, I
table.
mean, I think, it'll be interesting. It'll be,
If they don't come right back, I feel like we're talking as if they're relegated, which they kind of.
I mean, I don't know.
It could be. It's the chances. The odds are like 66% chance Burnley makes it out and Everton gets relegated. That's what the odds say, and I trust the odds.
Yeah, you
Wait,
put it-
only 66? I feel like it should be higher.
They're only like.
these teams aren't very good, Max.
I mean, a higher chance that they should be relegated.
I think he's saying it's 66% that Burnley make it.
Oh.
Yeah, and Everton gets relegated.
Yeah. Okay.
Everton are currently right above them at 25 points.
Right, but that's only 1 point.
It's only
and
1 point.
Where are they getting their
Schedules,
points from?
Yeah.
I honestly could care less if Everton get relegated. I think it'd be kind of fun to see them in the Championship, and maybe that's, I don't know what type of perspective that is, but my one qualm with that opinion is watching Lampard just ride a sinking ship,
I don't know. It's pretty sad.
which is too bad. But I mean,
But if you forget that, it's Everton going down. It's hilarious.
exactly, yeah.
forget
And
that
then we get to
part,
see
forget
Frankie
that.
Lampard just rock the championship, which I guess maybe I'm not at odds with. All right, shall we take a flight to Italy?
Oh my gosh.
Another
stuff.
championship battle.
Well, this is a crazy. I think this is the craziest league, just at least top 4 wise.
Top 4
Because-
wise, yeah. I think I'm like obsessed with this Liverpool City business.
Yes,
but,
yeah.
no, top 4
That's
wise.
probably the
yeah.
most entertaining. Look at Thomas.
Right.
That's
I'm
probably
going rogue for this.
Is most entertaining top 2 is probably Prem, but top 4 in Serie A right now in order: AC Milan 67 points, Napoli 66, Inter 63, but they have a game in hand. Juventus 59 in
I
fourth.
got my Juve jersey on just so I can hope they don't make top 4.
Roma 54, Lazio 52, Atalanta 51. I mean, it's like close. Fiorentina is there too at 50. So it's all close.
Dude,
It's literally crazy.
AC Milan at this is almost the biggest question mark here.
Well, I'm shocked that they're first.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why is Inter not first?
When that happened?
Yeah, and Inter, I mean, if they win this next game, they'll be second. tied with Napoli. But I mean,
good for AC Milan, honestly.
Yeah, good for AC Milan.
I'd love to see them win it. That'd be awesome.
They probably have the worst squad. Yeah, I would say they have the worst squad out of the top 4. Maybe better than Juventus, actually.
Maybe underrated.
Yeah. Inter, I think, has the best squad.
Yeah, probably.
And I have Inter pulling it out and getting first, actually. Their remaining schedule is definitely easier than a lot of the other ones. They play Roma towards the end of the season. But there's, let's say, 8 games left for them. And they play AC Milan in the Coppa Italia semifinal, which is going to be crazy.
That'll be crazy, but I feel like...
They're worried about the league.
Right.
They're worried about the league.
Bigger.
But yeah, that's a big one. And then top 4, I mean, if Juventus for some reason slips up a little bit, Roma's right behind them. 5 points, 8 games.
I got Tammy Abraham.
That's a lot of points.
Yeah.
So I guess your final top 4 standings, who do you have? What's your prediction?
I think it's going to be Inter, Napoli, Milan, and Juve. I would like to see Juve slip and Roma to get the 4th.
Yeah, I mean, I would love that. I think... Yeah, I'm hoping AC Milan win it just because that'd be awesome. AC Milan or Napoli.
I'd like to see Napoli win it.
That'd be pretty fun.
I feel like Napoli...
Dries Mertens. He deserves it.
Yeah. Yeah, and Insigne.
Send
him off. Yeah.
Cool about it. Needs one.
I mean, Juve has some tougher games. They play a Lazio. They play a Fiorentina twice. So, there are possibilities of them slipping up. But Harry, I have a surprise for you, actually.
So we can both cheer against Juve.
You guys are... You got...
Let's go, Inter!
Why do you have all these jerseys?
That was hilarious.
We're going from Juve to AC Milan.
I didn't
Inter Milan.
realize that. That was the whole time. You had
I was sweating underneath. No, but I waited an hour to do that.
Yeah, I liked it.
That one's
Keep it
tight
on.
on you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I know it was a little small.
Inter. Yeah, no, this is.
You look
tight
huge.
It's got the Pirelli logo.
Oh yeah,
which is
the
kinda
tires.
Nice.
Yeah. No, that's kind of sick. I'm wearing my Juve jersey just because it's the only Serie A jersey I have. But I'm also,
Tommy, what is
like
that?
I said, I'm not hoping they...
It's a boxing match with a leopard on
Tom,
it.
you have a Roma jersey, don't you?
I do have a Roma jersey.
Totti?
Where is
Oh
it?
my god, I have a Roma jersey. No, that was my friend's I borrowed.
Totti or no? Rossi?
No, it was my friend's I borrowed. I think
Borrowed
it
it
was
for like many, many times. I feel like I've seen you wearing that.
a Roma jersey.
When I picture Tom, I picture him in a Roma jersey.
My standard issue, Thomas
I don't think I have a
McEwen
Roma
profile.
jersey. I have both Milan jerseys,
Yeah.
but I haven't worn those in years because I grew. Remember when I had a growth spurt 7 years ago?
Yeah.
That was the last time I.
Tommy, you studied in Rome.
I don't have a Roma.
You don't have a
That's what I was
Roma
thinking.
jersey. You
I'm gonna go check my closet because
You have to have one.
maybe I
I'm
have a
going to
Roma
fact
jersey.
check you on this.
All right, Harry,
Well, you
you come and find.
Yeah,
my
you
Roma
gotta have
jersey.
something. Who do you guys? Any qualms with my top 4?
Unfortunately, no. I think Inter are going to pull it out. But like I said, I hope Napoli or AC Milan do the business just because it would be fun to see them playing. I'm looking at Milan's fixture list.
I'm content with all 3 of those teams. I'm more of an Inter fan than
They only have
AC Milan.
Atalanta to play. Yeah, but I want to see Giroud win and Ibra win.
And Tomori.
And Tomori, yeah.
Let's just name
Chelsea
all the players
Chelsea
we know
represent.
from these teams.
I know.
I feel like Napoli, like AC Milan and Inter had their time in the early 2000s, right? And they've been gone for a while. While Napoli, they never had like maybe with Maradona in the 80s. But they haven't won the league in forever, and I feel like that'd be pretty sweet. And this is kind of, I feel like Inter and AC Milan are coming back. Like they're going to be Champions League teams, for the next couple of years. And Serie A is going to be, Juve is obviously probably going to come back as well and be strong teams. This might be the year Napoli has the chance to win it finally.
Yeah, because
their Scudetto.
I know, and they'll probably lose Osimhen over the summer as
Yeah.
well. I assume to Premier League side or something.
Losing Insigne to a MLS.
To MLS.
MLS,
What,
yeah.
What if they lose Osimhen to a MLS side as well?
Too early for it.
They lose.
Chicago Fire get Osimhen creating a super team.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I do. I would like to see Napoli win.
Right.
That would be fun. And honestly, I mean, all of them have winnable fixture lists for the end of the season. So I think similar to kind of the Premier League, Man City, Liverpool situation, it's more of who loses than who wins.
Yep.
And honestly, I mean, Serie A is pretty exciting because any team on any week could lose. They don't have Man City and Liverpool where they're likely to win every week. You know, each of these teams will probably get another loss or two or a draw.
Right.
So it should be interesting. I mean, I do think for me, top four wise, that kind of sets it apart just because it is a little bit more chaotic and anything could happen.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, City, Liverpool's.
I gotta
Yeah.
clear my
Way-
weeks
way to go.
for
I
the
know.
next 7 weeks.
I know. 7 weeks. Sorry, I'm
Sorry,
occupied.
Cannot do it.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Spain. Not quite as interesting of a title race, but it is an interesting top four race. Real Madrid, they are 12 points clear right now up top,
It's a lot.
which is a lot. They had a couple shaky games there, but they're looking in pretty good form right now. And like we've mentioned, they have Tom. Your hair is crazy. They have Karim Benzema in flying form, as they say. So I don't see them slipping up. Over 8 games, losing 12 points.
Really turned around from the beginning of the season. They didn't look like a quality side, and now they're
Well, it's kind of been other teams poorly performing.
exactly. But now they're
They look good.
half foot in the Champions League semifinal and 12 points up on the La Liga. That's a good season.
That was a very good season. Yeah.
Great season.
Carlo.
Ancelotti.
Yeah.
Carlo, Everton to Madrid. what a glow up.
Yeah. What a glow up indeed. So then we have Barca, Atletico, and Sevilla all tied for second place, at least points wise.
Right.
And my prediction, in short, is that exact order. Sevilla choked. They had so many chances to have a strong second place position to make ground up on Real Madrid. And they've lost, I don't know, I think it's like 4 out of their 5 last games or something like that. Tom, check that out for me. But they have not been playing well lately.
Yeah, 3 ties and a loss in their last 5 games.
Yeah. And so I think they're kind of just out of the picture, as with Betis.
They have 3 ties and a loss in their last.
Thank you.
I hear an echo.
I did ask.
That's true.
Thomas,
That's true.
So I think the more interesting battle is between Barca and Atletico. And seeing as they're be second and third, it's more of a battle for pride and for dignity.
Yeah.
And they do play each other in a couple weeks, which should be a pretty exciting game. And so what I'm going to go off for my prediction is just a head-to-head battle of Barcelona and Atletico. And I think Barcelona do it.
Xavi Ball.
Their form has been incredible lately, and they've been so fun to watch. I guess they did get that tie today to Frankfurt. But in La Liga, they've been playing like crazy.
Yeah.
They have a certain guy named Pedri with an incredible goal over the weekend. Not goal of the weekend, that goes to Antonio Rudiger, obviously, with that 35-yarder.
Thumper.
It finally worked.
I know,
It
finally
went
worked. But Pedri with a close second there, putting Rakitic on his ass.
We'll believe it.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited, and I'm excited. You know, I'm not really like a huge Barcelona fan or anywhere near it, but I am excited to see them doing well with just kind of a very fun and new Barcelona side.
Yes.
And it's working, and Xavi's doing something there. And so I do think they will get second place. I think they're going to stick it to Atletico.
I enjoyed the Koeman Barcelona losing, and now I'm enjoying the Xavi Barcelona winning because it's fun.
I like to see the up and down action.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I don't want to see consistency out of
but-
any teams other than Chelsea.
No, Barcelona has a lot of exciting players now, especially with their their transfers with Aubameyang and Traore, and they're starting to really play Pedri and
Torres scored today against Frankfurt.
It's just like fun to watch, versus their weird Coman.
Also,
era
Frankie de
was.
Jong is playing well now, or
Yeah.
better.
It's really fun.
Yeah,
Good
so
time.
Yeah, just wait till they get Sergio Dest back, then it's over.
Yeah.
a menace.
Menace.
Jordi Alba, who?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's not, as far as these 3 title races that we've spoken about, that definitely is the comfortable third position. But I do think it is interesting, and it will be interesting to see how the final table plays out. And I think what it does do, more importantly, is it sets up for another big battle between Barca and Real Madrid next year,
Yeah.
which is what we want to see. So
I think the whole soccer community is happy to see Barcelona doing better again, I would say. Because then it makes La Liga interesting. And Real Madrid versus Barcelona is always going to be one of the best, if not the greatest rivalry in soccer, in football. So, good for them. Yeah, Harry, I agree with your
what about
top
El
4.
Trafico? Come on.
No, that's true. That might be the wildest. Yeah, I could see maybe Sevilla and Atletico switching.
No, dude, Atletico's been playing well too, and they're kind of, if someone can put up a good, like Simeone can lock down this position.
Yeah.
It might be harder for them to climb, but I don't see them slipping, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I didn't notice until like now. I mean, I knew Atletico's defense was not as good as, in past years, but they've let in 37 goals this year. Sevilla's let in 20.
Sevilla are nasty.
Well, Sevilla's only lost 3 games this year. They just don't win a lot. They tie a bunch. They've tied 12 times.
That's the problem.
That's
the problem. That's why, they had so many opportunities to climb and to make that jump when someone else loses and then they get a tie, which doesn't help you if you want to push up in the table. So
it kind of just looks like there was a lot of variation in the middle of the season, but now this is what it was.
This is what it's always going to be.
It was just like Barcelona and Atletico not having the best years, just like some variation. Real Madrid kind of like doing better. Like over 38 games, it kind of reverts to the mean of how good these teams actually are. And I think you see that in a lot of leagues down the end. Premier League, halfway through the season, there was West Ham was in 4th and Man U was in 11th, and now it's the top 6 teams are the top 6 teams. It's kind of over 38 games. The better teams usually.
Yeah. Well, wait a.
I know it's kind of boring, but
it is boring. But I guess that's what's happening.
If you look at the tables, that's what happens. That's what usually happens, and it's a lot of narratives of certain teams doing better. But is that just the variation of certain games? Is that their strength of schedule during some stretches? I don't know.
Just watch out for Leeds next year. That's all I'm saying.
Leeds in the championship?
Yeah. Jesse Marsh. Unbelievable.
Bringing him back.
All right.
Coaches we like are going down too.
I know. Yeah, well, maybe they're too likable. They're not. They don't have the cutting edge that they need to be Antonio Conte or Jose Mourinho.
But in the championship, they'll have a grand old time.
Yeah, I know. It'll be a walk in the park. They'll be able to be as friendly and fun as they can.
Yes, when they're crushing Luton Town.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, let's call it there. I think we covered a lot, but basically, there's a lot of soccer going on. It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with this whole stuff we're talking about.
There's so much material we need to save for next week too. There's like international.
We didn't even talk about the
stuff,
World
Cup. Like we didn't even talk about the World Cup.
We can't get into that now, but I think that does it for this week. So
perfect.
Thank you for everyone.
Goodbye.
For watching or viewing, and we will catch you next week.
Bye bye.
Forza Inter.